Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Bruchim Abam. We're continuing in Sefer Shoneh Halachos. We're learning Siman Zayin, the laws of Asher Yatzar after Hatalas Mayim. The laws of Asher Yatzar after urinating. Actually, we're going to speak about a very interesting detail in the halacha, which is actually comes up often. Sometimes a person goes to the bathroom, especially they go early in the morning or whatever. Let's say they forgot to make an Asher Yatzar, and they remember later in the day. So in other words, let's say a person had to go again and they made another Asher Yatzar. Do you need to make tashlumin for Asher Yatzars that were lost? You know, interesting question. Someone becomes a Baal Tshuva. Does he have to spend the first 3 years of his Tshuva process making Asher Yatzars? You know? Yeah, you want an aliyah? Well, stay here for the next 3 years and make Asher Yatzars, and then we can bring you back to the fold, you know? So the question is, do you have to make up for lost Asher Yatzars? So let's see the halacha. This is Siman Zayin. It's a small mitzvah in halacha, but you'll see it's actually pretty relevant. And then Be'ezus Hashem, that actually completes Hilchos Hanhagas Havoiker, and we move on to Hilchos Tzitzis. Kol hayoim, the whole day, kisha'oset tzrachav, when a person takes care of their needs, bein ketanim, bein gedolim, whether one needs to urinate or defecate, mevarech Asher Yatzar, he makes Asher Yatzar, v'lo al netilas yadayim, he does not make al netilas yadayim. Now this is very interesting, because there is an opinion in Rishonim that you have to make al netilas yadayim not only for Shacharis, but for Mincha Marav also. We don't paskin that way. We hold only in the morning, because yadayim askani yosheim, one's hands are busy. Today's learning should be Ilay Nishmas Chaya Chana Bas Chana Chaya Bas Bas Chayim Neshama Shavan Aliyah. So we hold that you only make Netilas Yadayim for Shacharis. However, what if a person went to the bathroom and now wants to learn or now wants to daven, so now their hands are really dirty and it's mincha time? Maybe then you make al netilas yadayim. No, even then you don't make netilas yadayim. Afilu roitza lilmad, even if you want to learn, ayla hispalal miyad, or you want to daven right away. Afilu hayu yadav melachlachais, even if your hands were dirty. Kagain sha'asa tzrachav. Let's say a person did their needs, v'shivshef, and they wiped. They got their hands. V'shivshif means they rubbed, oikinach, or they wiped. Ein mevarch al netilas yadayim, they do not make al netilas yadayim. Now, an interesting halacha is, what if somebody goes to the bathroom in the middle of a meal, and they come out and they're going to be continuing to eat bread? Do they make another netilas yadayim? So then, basically we say, if you go for a ketanim, you do not make a netilas yadayim. If you go for a gedolim, you do make a netilas yadayim. So if somebody goes to the bathroom in the middle of a meal for gedolim, they would make a netilas yadayim before they return to the meal, provided that they're going to be eating bread. In other words, if they come back in the middle of the second course and there's no more challah on the table, then they don't make netilas yadayim. But if there's more challah, there's more bread, you would make a netilas yadayim. Fine. Now, here's an interesting halacha. When you dip, raise your hand if you're a police officer. Right? Now, police officers like to dip donuts in milk, right? That's part of the job. That's one of the main, right? What do you do all day when the car is parked in a parking lot, let's say by CVS? What are you supposed to do? So you're supposed to dip Dunkin' Donuts in milk. That's one of the main things. And if you do that for 20 years, you get a very good pension. So, now what if you're a Jewish cop? You have to wash your hands before you dip something in one of the 7 liquids, right? So if you dip milk is one of the 7 liquids. So before you dip your donut in milk, you have to wash netilas yadayim. Now we do not make a bracha. Or if you dip a cookie in milk, so you say, what if I dip frosted flakes in milk? You know, you eat it with a spoon, so you don't have to wash your hands. But if you dip a food in one of the 7 liquids, you have to wash your hand. Do you make a bracha? No. Well, what if a person went to the bathroom and now is coming out and he wants to daven? Now, if you're going to be davening mincha, there's a very strong tzad, you should make it al netilas yadayim. We don't pass in that way. What if I'm also dipping a cookie in milk? Which there is a tzad to make a bracha, but we don't pass in that way. But what if in combination I combine the following 3 things? Went to the bathroom, want to daven, and dip a cookie in milk? Then according to many poskim, we should make a bracha. Okay, so davening, in other words, going to the bathroom and davening alone, you won't make a bracha. Going to the bathroom and eating a donut and milk, you don't make a bracha. But going to the bathroom and then davening, and I don't know why this guy is dipping a cookie in milk at the davening. I mean, he's coming in to daven mincha with a donut and milk. It sounds like the combination of all these factors, the Bir Halacha says, some say you should make a bracha. That is really what I wanted to, very interesting halacha. Question. What do you do more often? Go to the bathroom or eat? So most people would say, it's taloi zevaseh, right? But the question is, what if you ate something that you need to make a bracha achrayna and you forgot, and then you urinated, and now you remembered? What bracha do you make first, asher yatzar or a bracha achrayna? Yossi, you hear the shaila? A person ate something, and they came out of the bathroom. So that let's say they ate a cookie. They forgot to make an alamichya. And then they went to the bathroom. They come out. They have writing on them a chiyav alamichya and asher yatzar. What comes first? Bracha achrayna or asher yatzar? The shaila is what's. So I would have said, well, you incurred the chiyav of the bracha achrayna first. That doesn't seem to be a factor.
Could you also extend that for like other shots?
For what do you mean?
You have right now.
You went to the bathroom, then you have to say chazar sashatz?
No, you went to the bathroom, and now it's come outside now, and then you want to know what to do. Either you say amen or.
You see, amen, it's like, it's a mitzvah iveres. If I don't do it, I lost it, right? So that there, maybe I'll say amen, and then I'll say the ashiyatza. In other words, because if I don't answer amen, there's no way I could ever retrieve it. I can't come back and get it. But what, like this, I drank a cup of water, I forgot to make an ashiyatza, and I forgot to make a bracha achrayna, then I go to the bathroom. Or I would say a different scenario. I drank a cup of water, and now I have to go to the bathroom, so I can't make the bar nefashos. Then I go to the bathroom, and I come out. What comes first? Says the Mishnah Berurah, Berchas asher yatzar koidemas lebracha achrayna detadira. Asher yatzar takes precedence. Why? Asher yatzar is more tadir. Is that true? We should take a poll. What do you do? I mean, aren't you supposed to drink 8 cups of water a day? Now, I don't think anybody does that actually. If you drank 8 cups of water a day, then maybe you would have to make 8 asher yatzars.
I don't even know if you make a bracha achrayna if you drink water.
Why?
Not at the right time.
When I drink water, you drink 3.3 ounces in minimum 2 gulps. You drink 1.7 or 1.7. If you sip it, then you don't make a bar nefashos. But normal drinking would be to drink the revius in 2 gulps. I know I drink a cup of
spray bottles.
I drink a cup of water when I get up in the morning and before I go to sleep. During the rest of the day, I probably should drink more. But is it tad? What's more tadir, asher yatzar or a bracha achrayna? In America, people go to say asher yatzar more often than they make a bracha achrayna. That's interesting. He's quoting a Tshuvas Marshal. Misha achal davar shchai brachrayna v'shachach v'hito mayim v'nitzko kadem shbal varach asher yatzar koydem de tader. I would say, what about a guy who eats more than he says asher yatzar? Does it depend on that person specifically? Is it a general? Next thing, guy goes for a colonoscopy, so he drinks the thing, where it makes him go to the bathroom every 10 minutes. Do you make 100 asher yatzars, or do you make 1 asher yatzar when it's done the job? So it's a big machlaikas. Achal davar shechav dalet hito mayim. I'm sorry. No, the Reb Chaim puts it all the way at the end. Okay, so let's see dalet for a minute. What if a person went to the bathroom without using their hands? Do they have to wash their hands when they come out? In other words, why do you have to wash your hands when you go to the bathroom? Is it because you touched something? Or is the act of urinating or defecating itself inherently something that renders a person dirty that you have to wash your hands after? Says the Mishnah Berurah, Hittel mayim v'lo shifshef. If you urinate and you didn't rub, ein sarach litol yadav. You don't have to wash your hands to say Asher Yatzar. Rak mishum nekios, meaning there's no ruach ra. The only reason to wash your hands is for cleanliness, oy mishum hikain, or for preparation for tefillah. But for Asher Yatzar, it seems like it's not required. Vim ein loy b'ma litol yadav, and therefore if you don't have what to wash your hands, you still have a pikein tzarch levarch Asher Yatzar. You have to make Asher Yatzar.
I don't understand. So basically, you say Asher Yatzar, you don't.
You do. That's the Mechaber, says Hitel Mayim v'lo shifshef. Even though you have to say Asher Yatzar, you don't have to wash your hands, only because of Nekios or because of Hikayin. What is that trying to say? I think that's trying to say there's no inyan of Ruach Ra. There's no Ruach Ra when you go to the bathroom. The only reason to wash your hands is because of Nekios or Hikayin.
What about the whole sugya? You have to dress appropriately because it's a place that's in front of, just even if not, and you can't have the door open, all those because it's not, because the mucker is, I grew up last year.
Again, this is not talking about where the guy is in the bathroom. This is talking about stam, the act of urinating. We're not talking about nichnas lebeis hakisei, right? Yeah, but the guy could, maybe he's doing it on the street, maybe he's doing it on the side of the road. In other words, this halacha is in a laboratory. In other words, the act of being mashtin, does that require you to wash your hands? No. Oh, what about? Oh, you're right. It's nichnas lebeis hakisei. That might be a different factor. I mean, we're not necessarily talking about. You're right. In most cases, the guy's doing it in the Beis HaKisei.
So that would apply to, let's say, a catheter or in the hospital?
In other words, someone has a catheter and then they urinate. They just say Asher Yatzar and they don't have to wash their hands, technically. Right. That would be a good way to isolate the situation. What about if a person urinated and did get down in there? He touched, he rubbed. He got his hands soiled. Even if you rubbed, you don't have to technically wash your hands, you could wipe them. What if you only rubbed with one hand? Then it says Mishnah Berurah, Shivshef biyadei achas. If you rubbed with one hand, you only have to wash that hand. The hashniya on the second hand, rak mishum hikoyin. It's only for Shmoneh Esrei. Meaning there's a din of Nekios. Nekios is for brachos. Brachos only require rubbing. For Shmoneh Esrei there's a din of washing. Here there are two different dinim. There's a din of Nekios. Nekios is required for any davar shabakdusha. And then there's Hikain, which is required for tefillah. So if somebody just urinates, you're not required to wash. It's only Nekios, so you rub. But if you're shifshef, then you wash even for Nekios. For Hikain, in other words, somebody urinates, then for Shmoneh Esrei you need to wash. Now, okay, this is the halacha that I was very interested in. Yizar levar Asher Yatzar tekef. You should be careful to make an Asher Yatzar immediately. Bein b'gdolim, bein b'ktanim. Whether you did gedolim or ktanim. V'im nimshach zman gadol. What if a lot of time elapsed? Achar asiyas atzrachim. Im adayin ein tzarach pam shniya. If you don't have another urge, l'beis hakisei, yivarach, you make a bracha. But v'im nizkar l'achar shehischa loy taiva. But if you remembered, hey, I didn't make an Asher Yatzar when I already have another urge, shuv lo yivarech, then you're not to make a bracha, right? Because you can't make a bracha when you have an urge. And then you don't make the bracha tshilach pam shniya, eve yivarech bracha achas. You make one bracha. Okay? That's how the Shoneh Halachos quotes the bottom line. However, I want to share with you the Shita of the Mechaber. The Shulchan Aruch disagrees with this. Okay? It's very important to know this halacha. The Maran Bet Yosef writes that if somebody urinated and he forgot and then he urinated again, you have to make two Asher Yatzars. That's psak of Maran Bet Yosef. Did you know that? The Shulchan Aruch writes, if you urinated and you didn't make an Asher Yatzar and you urinate again, you have to make a second Asher Yatzar. Do Sfardim do that? No. Sfardim do not follow the Shulchan Aruch. However, even Ashkenazim need to be aware of the psak of the Shulchan Aruch. Why? Listen to this. Because if for a moment you sort of got a little confused, again, the guy went to the bathroom, he forgot to make an Asher Yatzar, he has another urge, so he says, oh, let me go to the bathroom again. He comes out, he makes an Asher Yatzar, and then he says, oh, I remember the Shulchan Aruch says I'm supposed to make 2, and he starts the second one. Oh, you already started? Kedai Maran Bet Yosef Lismai Chalav, you need to finish. Not only Sfardim, even Ashkenazim. Meaning, you need to be aware of the Shulchan Aruch Shita, so that if for whatever reason you started to make a second Asher Yatzar, even though you're going to be saying a brach at the end, you're going to be saying Shem Hashem at the end, but you already followed the Mechaber, you need to go all the way through. Now I saw last night, this was very interesting to me, what if I forgot 2 Asher Yatzars and now I have to make 3? Does the Shulchan Aruch hold like you have to keep on making them? So I believe the Maimar Mordechai says that making Asher Yatzars in the view of the Shulchan Aruch is like tashlumin for tefillah, that you can only be mashlim 1. In other words, if you forgot Shacharis, you can make it up Mincha. But if you got Shacharis and Mincha, you can't make up Shacharis Marav time. You can only make up Mincha. So the tzura of the tikkun of Asher Yatzar is similar to tefillah.
Is there a place that best practice to do it, let's say, if you forgot? Like, in other words, is it anywhere?
Is it, what do you mean?
One forgets to say Asher Yatzar. And now remembers. And does it go anywhere, or you can say it from up and then he did?
Oh, is it like eating, right? Say, I mean, do you need to be like samach? No, there's no makayim that's suggested. Now, the Mishabura brings many achronim argue on the Shulchan Aruch, and they say, well, in other words, why do we hold Lamaisa? Even Sfardim don't go like the Shulchan Aruch. Why Lamaisa do we say Shacharis has Tashlumin and Asher Yatzar doesn't have Tashlumin? So the Mishabura says this, the chiluk is, Tefillah is different. Tefillah is makam karbanos, so it's shaykh Tashlumin. Masha'in kain, Asher Yatzar, which is a Birchas Haidah, you're yotzi with 1 Haidah for many things. Just like if you ate twice and you're Mesiach Das, let's say, in other words, you ate bread, you forgot, and then you ate bread again. Nobody would say you benched twice. 1 Haidah covers twice. So that's how we say Asher Yatzar. Lamaisa, the Shulchan Aruch said, the Mishnah Berurah says, not that we don't hold like the Mechaber, it's Yesh Lahaka b'makam Safek. Asher Yatzar? Well, we didn't see specifically to do it mu'umad, even though obviously I don't think I ever saw anyone ever make an Asher Yatzar miyushav.
That's because you have to do. You usually do it right away, but let's see, you remember that you didn't do it.
I think we do it mu'umad. Why? I have to look. Let's finish the Siman. Hashoisa sam hamishalshal. You drink the stuff before the colonoscopy. V'yesh b'datim etchil lefanos hamnei ma'am. You're trying to clear the intestines. Ad shetichla hazuhama. Where you're purging, what do they call it? People do these things, they have these cleansing. Very good. They're detoxing. Right? Noyagin levarich b'chol pam. The minog is, you make a Asher Yatzar every time. Ach b'shul shel chazak. But if you have strong diarrhea, shemargish miyad, sheyitzar levano shenis asel varch, that as soon as you finish the first time, you have a sensation that you have to do it again, then you're not allowed to make a bracha. Last halacha. Is there a shiur of how much you have to excrete, right, to make a bracha? No, we know when you eat, you have to eat a kazayis, drink a ravias. Is there a shiur of what you have to let out to make an Asher Yatzar? You can just imagine, people machmirim, is there a different shitas, Reb Chaim Noah? So there's no shiur. Ein shiur lahashtin mayim. Ka'afilu l'tipa achas chayiv levarich. Even one drop, you have to make a bracha. Why? Shem yisasim hanekev melhoitzi atipa. If the hole would seal shut from letting out that droplet, haya kashala, it would be very difficult. V'chayiv l'hoidais. Okay, so that's Siman Zayin. And the next, we finished Hilchos Hanhagas HaBoker. We will continue. Be'ezus Hashem, Siman Ches begins Hilchos Tzitzis. Shkoyach, everyone. Thank you very much.